Hello and welcome to this video in which I take the motorhome to Todd's to have some warranty work done, and whilst I'm there I might film some vans as well, see what they've got. But let me show you what went wrong with the motorhome. Up here there's a lighting strip, and what's happening is it's coming unstuck, and you can see I think it's because this lighting strip wasn't working when I first got the van, and Todd's reconnected the strip. There was a soldering problem, but of course it's not stuck back down properly, so they're going to get me a new strip, so that's good. The other thing is the tap. This nozzle here on the tap actually blew off, and it was when we'd been drained down and we're letting the water into the system, and it blew the nozzle off. So they've told me they're going to replace the tap, but I think that's quite a common issue with these taps, and those nozzles are actually meant to come off. They're only sort of held on with an O-ring, a rubber O-ring, but hopefully that will be all right. I did have the knobs falling off the cooker. One of the knobs fell off, and there's a little spring clip inside that disappeared, but I found the spring clip, I put it back, and all the knobs on the cooker seem fine now. I had a problem with this cupboard door not shutting properly. It wasn't latching properly. I actually fixed it myself, and all I've done is I added some extra screws. I'll just move this out of the way. I added some extra screws in there, and there were silly little screws that hold those on. They're very short, so I put some proper bigger screws on. So what was happening, of course, the door was dropping down, and when it dropped down, the catch there wasn't latching on this. It was actually missing, so I fixed that one myself because it was getting irritating. The door was opening and stuff was flying out. Move it up a bit. So it latches quite nicely now. So that's one I fixed myself. I had a little problem in the bedroom. It's actually under the bed. The problem occurs is that wheel arch is actually missing a bit of insulation. It's meant to have some insulation over it, a little rubber cover over it, and it appears to be missing that insulation. So apparently Swift has sent Todd's a whole new wheel box, presumably with the insulation, so it seems a bit drastic. I just need the foam over the top. They obviously just forgot to put it on. It normally looks like that. There's normally a bit of rubber foam, and it's to stop, well, it keeps it warmer in the locker, and it stops the noise of stones hitting the wheel arches coming through as well, I guess. And the other thing that I'm going to ask them to look at is the rear view camera. Obviously you can see the screen here, and of course now I'm showing it you, it looks perfectly okay, but it was subject to getting condensation on there, and when it was particularly wet, the condensation was getting in and it was misting up the view. At the moment you've got a nice clear view of the garage gutter. The other thing I want to quickly mention is I've got a nice new friction mount for my Garmin based Avtex Tura 2 sat-nav, so that keeps it nice and snug, and it does mean that I can close the blinds now without having to put the satellite way. I did have it on this pull-up unit, but like I say, I had to close that every time I wanted to close the blinds. And the other thing I've done is I've moved the dash cam down to the bottom of the windscreen, and that does mean that I can close the blinds now without having to put the dash cam away. I did have a problem with the fridge door not closing, and what was happening was if you try to open it this way, that it wasn't opening. It was alright open it that way. Open it that way, it was fine. What sometimes happens is that this bottom hinge doesn't always seem to latch properly. Notice I just give it a little push there. And if you don't give it a big enough shove, you can't hold it, open it that side. So just see if I can demonstrate that. Yeah, you see it's not latched there? Yeah, now it works. Right, okay. So we now have a fully functioning, both way opening Dometic fridge door. So that's it for warranty issues as far as the motorhome goes. Nothing else really has gone wrong, which is good. I mean, these are only minor things, sort of little problems that you might expect in any motorhome, and hopefully we'll get that all fixed tomorrow. So I'll let you know how we get on. We're actually here at Todd's on the day that the government reverted the VED for tax on motorhomes to its previous value, so 265 for private light goods vehicles or 165 for heavy goods vehicles. It's a little bit early to know how that affects the people who had to pay the higher 2,600 and whatever it was from September, whether they're affected, whether they get a refund even. I've not heard anything. We're all assuming that they won't, so I don't know what's going to happen on that front. But obviously it will have an effect on people buying new motorhomes. As of 12 o'clock today, on the 12th of March. So it's a little bit like watch this space, let's see what happens. But I do feel sorry for the people if they're not going to get a refund. They'll have to pay the 465 a year plus that 2,000. That seems a little bit unfair. Let's see what happens anyway. Right, back from Todd's. Done all the warranty work that I needed, and they've replaced the strip light up there, so it seems to be stuck back on. The tap, that is okay. It's this nozzle will come out if there's too much pressure in the tap. It shoots out, and you can also apparently you can change the nozzle because it's got like a filter on it. So if it gets bunged up, you can actually change that. It just needed a good push back in, which apparently I had done. You need just to force that back in so it seals properly. So that wasn't actually a problem. Like I said, I'd fix the cooker knobs anyway, and I'd fix the door myself anyway. They've put some foam on there, so it's got a little bit of foam there, and all that's covered over, so that's nicely insulated now. So I shouldn't get condensation in there, and it should quieten things down in there as well. And of course the other thing they've done is they've replaced the rear view camera, and I can confirm that the rear view camera works now without any condensation. What they did say about that camera is they've sent those cameras off to Sargent, who make them, and Sargent have said that there's nothing wrong with them when they've come back, where people have reported condensation. And the technician said that I think what happens is they're built in a warm environment. Obviously the air inside them is got some moisture in it, obviously, and when it's cold outside, that moisture then turns to condensation on the inside of the lens. But Sargent won't have it, and they said there's nothing wrong with it. But anyway, I've been sent another one, and that seems to be alright, so you can draw your own conclusions from that. So that's it for this little video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, remember to give us a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you on the next one.